Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and I'm back with another episode of my Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020 playthrough. It's tournament time now for the OVC, Ohio Valley Conference. We're going to be in it, of course, and that's what I'm hoping to do this episode is just get through that tournament. I'm going to do something a little different today. Instead of playing the games out, I think I'm just going to sim them. I feel like I'm curious to know how well the AI is going to handle the team, like with the strategies and depths that I put out there. And I haven't done it for that. I've done it here and there, like one or two games, I think, this season. I simmed instead of played it out. But I want to, that might be how I play this game going forward. Maybe I'll occasionally play the big games out. But for now, we'll see how it goes this episode and just go from there. But the way we're looking going into the tournament, just give you a recap if you haven't been watching the last few episodes. We did manage to get to 15 wins, so we're going to finish 500 or better regardless. If you look at the goals for us this year from the school and the board, they wanted us to finish above 500. If we lose this first game in the tournament, of course, we won't make that. And they want us to win the conference tournament. So we're probably not going to do that, would be my guess. I guess anything can happen, though. But I'm just hoping that we win one game in the tournament. We'd have to win 3 to win the whole thing. So if we win 1, we'll finish above 500, and I'll count that as a win. This team's really young. We struggled early when we got to the conference schedule and just looked like we were going to be a sub 500 team and really a bottom dweller of the conference. So to get back to middle of the conference, which is I think about where we finished. Yeah, we're like 2, 3, 4, 5th in the conference, tied with Eastern Kentucky. To get to that level from where we started, I'm happy enough with that, and just hope that if I decide to stay with this team or not, at least hopefully they'll have something to build on going into next year. One other thing I'll talk about, I don't know if it happened but since the last time, but on the recruiting side, we now have 2 verbals. We do have a few still interested. I'm still hoping to work Casper's into getting there. I think this guy looks like a good center, probably better overall than what we have there now. And I want to pick up another small forward. I'd like to get a point guard, but it's looking less and less likely that that's going to happen. But we have no point guards interested. So it's going to come down to, I think, some home visits from our coach in terms of getting the rest of the recruits lined up. We got 6 scholarships to offer. I'd really like to go with all 6. I think when you have to rely on the walk-ons, I just think it's just you're not going to get much from them. Kellogg has put in some time here and there, but you can see what he gives you. I mean, 0.7 points a game. On his stats, he's averaging about 2 minutes a game. He's getting more playtime, I think, than the other walk-ons. Peay, he's got 1.4, but he's only played in 8 games. And then the other walk-on, Kimbrough, same deal, shooting guard. He's getting about 1.4 minutes in 8 games. I mean, it's filler, and I don't want to have to rely on that kind of depth going forward. So I want to get as many of those 6 recruits as I can. So 2 out of 6 right now. I'm just hoping we have, when we get to I don't know if it'll show us here, but we're getting to the point pretty close anyway where we're going to be in that period where the contact period where we can go out there and contact some of these guys and make the pitches, the hard pitches that'll hopefully turn them in our favor. But let's go ahead and get started though on the tournament. I'm going to show you what the grid looks like for the tournament. So we're going to be playing, starting out, Morehead State, who they could be looking for some revenge because we beat them twice really pretty big in terms of the scoring. I mean, we beat him on the road. One of our bigger wins, middle of the season, got us kind of going on the right track. We beat them something like 88-57. So they could be up for revenge. But I like that matchup better than either of these two teams. We've only played Southeast Missouri State once, and we beat them. So if we could get past these two, that'd be great. I don't see us getting past Tennessee Tech though. But that's how the grid's laid out, or the bracket. So we're going to go back to the actual games themselves, and like I say, we're just going to go with our strategies, a depth chart, and all that kind of stuff, and hope that we're able to beat them. I don't know if I'll be able to see it here. It seems like it should be one of the last games that shows up. No, it blipped through there. I hope we won. Yep, we did. So we got our 16th win of the season. We're guaranteed to finish above 500. A pretty good outcome from where I'm sitting. So we beat him 78-54. Check a look at the box score here. Speedy McMillian, player of the game. This guy, I'm starting to get more and more happy about him. I think, even though I'm hoping to get another point guard in recruiting, I really, unless he just takes a step back in his ratings or something in the offseason, I really think that he's settled into the starting role after a bumpy start, not speedy start. Earlier in the season, if you're able to follow me this far, we had to bench him because of his attitude, and his attitude's even turned around quite a bit. But several times now he's been player of the game. I love the points. I like the assist even more. He was a plus 17 on when he was on the floor. The team was doing well. Jensen 10 points, and then Jepson, who's a senior. This is his last shot at another tournament run. 13 points from him. Great player. I'm going to miss him for sure. And then Hart, who I have relegated to the bench at center. I'm giving Mallet the starts, but Mallet got in some early foul trouble, and Hart came in and did a good job. He had the best plus-minus of any player on the court for this game. Ike King was okay, 6 rebounds, plus 18. Jury's still out on this guy. I do have a power forward recruit as one of those verbals. Ike King will probably have a short career if he doesn't pick it up. Although he's just a freshman, so he's gotten a lot of play time this year. He's been the starter for over half the season. I hope that'll lead to better progression in the ratings going into next year, and he'll develop a little bit more and be a true starter. But right now, he's not good enough to start, in my opinion. 1.5 current rating. Some of these individual ratings aren't there, and then of course his numbers are just really low. But at least he had a good rebounding game, so that's nice. Off the bench, Marshak was okay, but outside of him and Hart, not much going on there. We got most of our points in the paint in this game. We shot well as a team. It's one of the reasons I like simming it out. The couple, 2 or so games that I simmed out before, I noticed their shooting's a little bit better. And I think this team should be a good outside shooter or shooting team. That's the way I've got it. The depth charts, that's the way I've kind of recruited it over the seasons that I've been playing this one. And we should be shooting better than 30%. And when I'm playing out the games, I struggle to get past 30. It's rare that we get into the 40s, but big story here, 13 for 24 and 3-pointers. So now we're going to... I think I can... Nope. I thought there was a leave button here, but let's go back to the game for today against Southeast Missouri State. They're 12-17 overall, but they had a little bit of a better record in the conference than we did. The one time we played them, we beat them 73-55, so we beat them pretty pretty handily. The scouting report from our coach, he's got them still with the advantage. They've got a good shooting guard, although his numbers aren't as great as Jensen's. So this could be Jepsen here really stepping up and having a career game to get us into that conference tournament final. So let's go ahead. We'll sim through it. And on the other side, it's I don't know if that was a big upset or not, but Eastern Kentucky lost to Eastern Illinois. Yeah, I mean, that's probably an even matchup, so no big deal there. All right, so let's send this one out. Let's see how we do. This would be a big win if we get it. To go to 17 wins for the year, that would be better than last year. And again, we win, so don't know the score, but gosh, I'm really happy with that result to start out the way we did. Not bad. It's kind of got me rethinking where I need to go next year as well, if I need to stay with this team or move ahead or move on. So now we've got Tennessee Tech. I'm sure we're scouted to lose this one. No real advantage to him except Benoit is probably one of the best players in the conference. 16.2 points a game. He may be leading the conference in that. But once again, Jepsen, could be his game to win or lose for us. Before I move to that, I didn't really take a look at the box score on the Southeast Missouri State game. So Jensen was the hero here with 22 points. So he had his typical game. And Jepsen, 13 points plus 22. He's just a good all-around player. Looking at his stats, 10.6 points, just under 6 rebounds. Had several double-doubles this year. I think 7 times player of the game over his career. So he's a real good player. Don't think I'm going to find a replacement for him this season. But looking at the rest of the team here, McMillian, a big game in my opinion, 9 assists, 1 steal, 5 turnovers. That's not great, but he was low in the fouls too. He's been a little bit undisciplined defensively, so he had a good game there. Ike King just got 10 minutes in this game. Probably a good thing that he did because he was really ineffective again. On the bench side, Marshak, a good game. He's another guy that I'm going to miss. I think he was just one of those kind of guys you need on a team just to be a good bench player. Every time he came in, it seemed like, well, most of the time anyway, he always was able to score. There were certain games where he was able to take over. I think this year against UNLV, 10 minutes, 20 points. He was just on fire that game. But he's had a few here and there. 14 points against Morehead State, which was a win for us. So another one that's going to be tough to replace. That's why I've got to get those small forwards and recruit this year. I'm just going to be in so much trouble if I don't. And then for the team, once again, this is why I'm leaning towards sticking with simming because our shooting was good again. 47.4% and 40+% from 3-point land. And free throw shooting has been in the 70s, I think, for these 2 games, but that's still a lot better than I was seeing when I was playing the games out. And defensively, we just owned this team. So they shot really poorly. We out-rebounded them 38-31. Steals, 12-10. Turnovers, 21 for us, 24 for them. So a good team win here. So now this is going to be the challenge. Tennessee Tech and Belmont would be probably the premier matchup in this conference, although Eastern Illinois now with 18 wins, they're not looking too bad either. So let's go ahead and sim this day out, see how it goes for us. I really expect the loss. Is that what we're going to see? And it is. So that's how we're going to finish up. 17 and 15 for the year. And it looks like it's going to be Belmont and Tennessee Tech. So that's the matchup you want to see out of this conference. Let's see how the game went. Oh, it was so close, 78-75. Belmont 11-point win over Eastern Illinois, but that is so close. Tennessee Tech has been a team we've had some struggles with in the 3 years that I've been here. This might be the year they've put it together. I pointed out either last season, I think it was last season, they had a lot of depth, and it's probably the same this year, and maybe that's how they've been winning. But I'm kind of hoping they pull it out. I would like to see somebody besides Belmont represent this conference in the tournament. So the play just wasn't here from our big guys. Jensen held to 5 points, was 2 for 9 shooting. McMillian, 0 assist. And when your point guard gets 0 assists for you, you're in trouble. And it looks like Jepson was only the only really good player on the court for us in terms of the starters, and he had 10 rebounds, 9 points, almost a double-double, but he struggled field goal shooting, and Ike King just guy's going to have to show some ratings progression, I think, to keep that starting job. On the flip side, Cunningham, his last game for Austin Peay, he's graduating now. He played better off the bench. I've said that a few times, I know, this year, even though the numbers probably don't reflect it. You look at the minutes he was getting, 15.8 minutes this season as opposed to 21 last year. And something about it, I don't know. I just feel like there were some times when he came in and he really contributed off the bench. Whereas last year, he just was not the point guard I needed for most of that season. So at least he had a decent game to go out on, but outside of him, not much. And even in this game, again, 48.2%. Wow. 3-pointers, 11. Shooting was there. We just, I guess they got a couple more shots attempts than we did. And I think fouls were obviously where it went wrong for us. They had 10 more trips to the free throw line than we did. That's the difference right there. I guess McMillian, unfortunately, did what I have noticed is his downfall is, he must get frustrated or something, and he gets in foul trouble. So that kept him from being ineffective. And Jensen as well, 3 fouls. That probably kept him on the bench a few times. So that's how it goes down. Let's go ahead and finish the tournament and see who's going to be the title winner here and go on to the NCAA. To my knowledge, I can't think of a time that Tennessee Tech has ever gone on to the Final Four tournament. But they're going this time. 66-63, close game, big win for Tennessee Tech. Tillett, the center, he's a senior. He went out big, didn't he? 15.9 points average, 6 rebounds. And he had a great game here, 21 points. 4 of their starting lineup was in double figures in points. Man, they must have some really good depth. On the flip side, I think Weber is a senior. Yeah, he is. He's been one of their best overall players in the 3 years that I've been playing with this team. He didn't have a great game, probably outmatched a little bit by Tillett there, but they still probably have a chance at making, I'd say, the NIT tournament, because looking at the standings, how we all finished. So we finished 17-15, Belmont 21-10, and then Tennessee Tech 22-9, won 4 in a row there at the end. A good year for them. Looking at their school history in this playthrough, so 17-13, 14-16. So that was a pretty big turnaround for them. And that leaves us really just with the tournament to go through. What I'm going to do is sim ahead here. and we'll take a look at how some of these tournaments went, and I see some big name teams in here. Memphis showing up here with a big win over Houston. If that was their title game, that was huge. And that should be it. Yeah. So now the selection hasn't probably happened yet. It hasn't. So let's take a look at our alerts. What do we got? The brackets are set. And I want to look too on the recruiting. When does that contact period start? 19th. So we got a little bit over a week. Looks like Emerson is gone from cool to warm there, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder if I got any point guards now. Just this Atkins guy. And we're not in his top 10 school. But let's go ahead and advance. And, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go ahead and take a look at the conference tournament, see how they went. This will probably tell us a lot about how so we'll start with the American East. This will tell us how the Final Four tournament's going to go in a lot of cases. So we got Albany, a 6 seed. Man, some big upsets here in the American East. So 71-61 over New Hampshire. I can't see their record from here, but ACC, Florida State, and Pittsburgh. So that one hasn't played out. So let's go ahead and get that one done. So Memphis over Cincinnati. Inbox, let me take a look at what we got here. Selection show, not quite ready there. Let's go back to the tournaments if we could, and I don't think we can. Oh my gosh. Seems like that happened last year. It's like you have to get into the selection show to see how the tournaments went on. Man, why did they do that? Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I think I'm going to have to advance and get into the selection show a little bit. We'll see how this starts. I think it might take a little bit more time than I want to give it on this episode. Let's take a look and see. I wonder if I can skip it. All right, so oh no, come on. It's gonna get taking a while to get started, I guess, here. Do I just go next game? All right, there we go. Wow, this is a play-in game. Charleston and Samford. Ooh, those guys had terrible records. We got another playoff game. Wichita State, pretty good, and Creighton. So those are good teams. Iowa State, Clemson. That should be a good matchup. And then here's the first round games. Villanova, top seed in the Philadelphia region. Going to play either Georgia Southern or Long Beach State. Notre Dame, the 4th seed in this region, or 2nd seed, sorry. They're 4th-ranked team. They're playing Pennsylvania. Connecticut, they're going to be the 3rd seed, playing Northern Kentucky. Michigan, the 4th seed, against Lehigh. We got Texas El Paso against Wow, this is kind of odd. Gonzaga is just a 5 seed here, but it looks like they're number 2 in the country. Pittsburgh, they had a good year. They're going to be 6 seed. Then North Carolina State 7-10 there with Xavier, and then Auburn making it as a 9 seed playing Wake Forest. So now we go to the St. Louis region, Arizona, number 1 team in the country. They got the first top seed here. They're going to be playing Albany, and then Purdue, 2nd seed, playing Merrimack. Georgetown, they finished pretty poorly. They were number 1 for quite a bit of the season. A few weeks in, I kept noticing. Against Montana State, that's a pretty good matchup for them. San Diego State, another team, they finished 3rd. It's weird that they're only 4th seed here. So they're actually given their little commentary here at the bottom on the matchups. So now we've got Louisville, just a 5 seed. I think they may have been the tournament winners last year in this playthrough, playing either Wichita State or Creighton. That could be a tough one. That could be a tough 5-12 game. Then we got Arkansas, who I believe won the tournament the first season I played in this playthrough. They're playing Buffalo, Boston College, Colorado, and then Cincinnati makes it in as an 8 seed. Last year was a good year for them. Not this year, not as good. They're not even ranked right now. So now we go to the Austin bracket, and Florida State, the number 1 seed here, with a 28-4 record, playing NC Asheville, should be a easy win. Iowa, number 2. Iowa, I believe, is the team that won. Maybe it wasn't Arkansas. Maybe it was Iowa who beat Arkansas in the final. I'm having a hard time remembering right now, but they're 2nd seed here in this region. Wisconsin, 3rd seed. And then here we go with Tennessee Tech and playing 4th seed West Virginia. So they're just a 13th seed. Not too bad. I think we went in the year that I made it that first season. I think we were 11 seed in the tournament, or 12. It was a pretty generous seed there, and we were able to get the upset against Tennessee. We got Maryland, Iowa State, or Clemson, Illinois, 6th seed with Memphis, who must have won their tournament, and then Florida and Georgia. That's going to be an interesting matchup, first round, and then Marquette and Wyoming. Now the last region, Kansas, 6th in the country. They're going to be the top seed here, playing that Samford or Charleston winner. Alabama, 2nd seed. They had a great year in the SEC. These seedings are really weird. I don't know if it's because maybe Alabama won their tournament. Oklahoma, the 3rd seed, playing Lamar. Butler, the 4th seed, against Grambling. Missouri, Northern Iowa. Brigham Young, and Denver. I think we played Denver this year and beat them. Man, they had a great season. New Mexico State, Richmond, and then Indiana, another team we played this year and got trounced on the road against UCLA. So that's how the tournament looks. I'm probably going to do that next episode, and what I'll do is I'll go through and do some more recruiting. So we have been selected for a tournament, postseason tournament, the WOL tournament. So not bad. And we're going to be playing Middle Tennessee. I'm going to take a look at that tournament, but let's take a look at some of these, how some of the conference tournaments went, where we left off at ACC. So that was Florida State won that. I guess that's why they're ranked so high, or seeded so high. Atlantic Sun, Kennesaw State over Lipscomb. Atlantic 10, Virginia Commonwealth lost to Richmond. That was a 1-2 matchup there. Then who else? So Big East, Villanova, big over Butler. And then Big Sky, I'm not as familiar with that one. Montana State won. Big Ten, Iowa over Purdue, held them to just 49 points. Big 12, Kansas, huge over Oklahoma, 78-43. Conference USA went to Texas El Paso. They had a good year, 2 seed out of that one. And I think Middle Tennessee comes out of this conference. So that's who we're going to be playing in our tournament. How about the Big West? Look at them. Long Beach State over Cal State Northridge. So let's see. Ivy League, that went to Pennsylvania pretty easy. This is Missouri Valley. Northern Iowa won. Pac-12. Arizona big over Washington State, 100-74. And the SEC, it was Alabama. They did win that tournament. That's why they're seeded so high. They beat Missouri, who was the number one seed in the tournament. Pretty big win for Alabama. Tennessee must have had a poor year. They were all the way down here at 11. Who else can we look at? Sun Belt, Georgia Southern, and Appalachian State. I think that's it for the big conferences. I guess the WAC, is that where Gonzaga is? Let me take a look. Is it? No, here it is, the West Coast Conference. So Gonzaga barely beat Brigham Young. St. Mary's, a team we played I think last year we played our non-conference schedule against a few teams out of this conference. But that's how those go. Let's take a look at this WOL tournament. So we got an East, Midwest, South, West region. We're going to be in the wow, is it here we go, West region for some reason. So we go Middle Tennessee, Campbell, Winthrop. Man, this is kind of cool. It's nice to see us in a tournament. And again, man, this kind of makes me feel like I can move on from this team. I feel like 3 seasons of Final Four tournament and a win in the Final Four tournament, and then to get us into another postseason tournament, not too bad. I think that's accomplishment enough. I'm really interested in getting to a more prestigious school so that I can have a better chance at building a national champion. But for now, I guess I'll let this go. I'll probably come back and send through these to let you see how Austin Peay did in this tournament. And then we'll go through the Final Four. And then I'll probably next episode go through some more recruiting because it's going to come down to, we've got 3 scholarships left. We've got, I think one more has been offered, and that's Curtis Riley. We're at 3rd on his list. He's a shooting guard who, he's not rated too great, but he's had a decent senior season, looks like. We need depth at shooting guard. So if those 3 were to commit, my thing now is working on another small forward, a point guard, and if I can't get a point guard, I may have to just go with another shooting guard and a center. So that's what we'll do with recruiting. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching and supporting the channel. I hope you're still enjoying this playthrough. I think I'm making that tournament has decided it for me. I think next year I'm going to be looking for another coach assignment, and may start out fresh with a team in a better conference and see how we go from there. But I will see you next episode, and thanks for watching.